Hi, my name's Stephen Reed, and today we're pruning this rather unruly pear tree back into its normal shape, which is, obviously as you can see, as an open goblet tied around the frames. This started off by accident, this chap. When it was first grafted, it shot out 4 shoots sideways, and we managed to think of a crazy idea to train it on into this strange shape. Now what it's done so far this summer is produced lots of shoot growth on these spurs, and we've got lots of fruit inside here as well. And what we need to do now is to reduce these spurs back so that it lets the light in, lets the air in, and these fruit can ripen up. And then we'll see where the shape is again and where the spurs are forming, and we can thin out any spurs and some more fruit if we need to from here. Now it's really a matter of going back on these long spurs to about 2 to 3 leaves and snipping them off. Any short side spurs, the same. And you gradually go over the whole tree, removing these back. And then once we've gone a certain distance back, we can assess the shape of the tree, make sure the spurs are in the right places, and take it from there as far as the shape goes. But initially we just want to get some of this growth off so we can see where we are. This long spur here, too big. It's going to end up going off in the wrong direction. The shape of this tree is in a double round, so that spur can come completely off and out of the way. So continuing up this side, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. There's no madness to this really, it's just a case of lopping off these spurs, which are pointless anyway because they're not doing anything for the plant now. The leaves that were remaining will continue to feed the fruit, and the extra sunshine will allow that fruit to ripen up. This actually is a variety called Glue Morceau, which is a very late pear, so these are not going to be ripe until probably October anyway. And by then they will be large and fat and quite big and heavy pears. I'll carry on pruning this and come back to you in a second. That's looking a bit better. You can probably see from here now where we've thinned this all out, removed a few of these spurs in here that were a bit congested, lets the light in, lets the sunshine in, and these little fruits you can see here are all eventually, well, most of them eventually will ripen up. I haven't thinned the fruits out yet. It's still middle of June. A bit early to be thinning them as yet. There may well still be a bit of drop on some of these fruits as the summer, if we ever get a summer, if it progresses. So we'll leave the fruit thinning for another few weeks and then come back to that later on. If you're wondering how we got to this stage, then there's this tree over here which shows you where we started from. Now this is how you start. This has been grown, grafted, selected 4 shoots, took the top right out, selected these 1, 2, 3, 4 shoots, grew them up last year. A couple of months ago we tied them right down onto this cane framework, and you can see already little spurs forming as they start to grow. When they grow from the ends, we'll leave the end shoot to continue all the way up, and as it gets big enough we'll tie it back into the top on all of these. These little ones in here, as soon as they produce a couple of leaves, pinch the tip off, which will generate spurs like you can see in there, and within 7 years or so you'll end up with a tree this size. You can see we've used actually water pipe. Horrible blue colour, but it does the job, it's flexible, and it gives you something to tie the initial shoots to. when you train them round, otherwise they're thin and whippy and they blow all over the place. You can see in here there's some young fruitlets which will need thinning out, as I said earlier, but I don't want to do that yet. But the pruning we've now done will let the sunshine into those. As you can see, this chap's in a pot. Doesn't have to be, can be in the ground outside, but in a pot you need to feed and water quite a bit, so that's something to be very aware of, otherwise your fruits will all split and drop off, which isn't really very helpful at all. This is a pear, this one, as I said, but you can do this with any fruit. You can do it with apples. You can, if you want to, do it with figs. Wouldn't probably do a stone fruit like this because you end up doing so much pruning to them that they're going to have a little bit of a problem with that amount of wound entries that you will create. You know, when you prune it, you wound it, therefore disease can get in. So stone fruits need a lot more pruning.